This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
White House border czar Tom Homan says ICE agents will begin deploying to airports nationwide to help ease long TSA lines. The agents will focus on areas like entrances and exits, allowing TSA officers to concentrate on passenger screening. Tehran is warning it will escalate attacks on energy sites and even target water facilities if the U.S. strikes its power plants. This comes after President Trump gave Iran 48 hours to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a key oil route carrying about 20% of global supply. Iran has blocked the passage amid ongoing conflict, while U.S. officials say all options to deal with it remain on the table. Lawmakers in Washington on both sides of the aisle spent the weekend condemning comments by President Trump following the death of former FBI Director Robert Mueller. In a social media post, he said, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." Mueller served as special counsel investigating Russia's interference in the 2016 presidential election. About Trump, the Mueller report stated while it did not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. President Trump is urging congressional Republicans to work through the Easter holiday to pass the controversial SAVE Act voting bill, which is holding up a new Homeland Security budget. Speaking Monday in Memphis, Mr. Trump said voter ID and proof of citizenship should be tied to DHS funding. Critics say the bill would restrict voter access while tackling the problem of non-citizens voting, which rarely ever happens. The bill currently does not have enough Senate votes to pass. President Trump says Iran has made what he calls a very significant offer tied to the Strait of Hormuz, though Iranian officials deny any negotiations are underway. The comments come as thousands of U.S. Marines deploy to the Middle East. Meanwhile, Israel signals it plans to continue operations against Iran as both sides exchange strikes, including missile attacks hitting Tel Aviv and key sites inside Iran. House leaders are holding off on a vote for a Senate-passed bill to fund the Department of Homeland Security, including TSA workers, raising concerns about continued disruptions. Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson called the measure approved early Friday a joke.
The reason that we can't accept this ridiculousness, is because we're not going to risk not funding the agencies that keep the American people safe.
The Senate bill excluded extended funding for ICE. Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries criticized the delay, saying the House should act immediately to ensure DHS employees are paid and our national security is protected. Golf superstar Tiger Woods is facing a DUI charge after a rollover crash in South Florida. Authorities say the crash happened just before 2 p.m. this afternoon on Jupiter Island when Woods, driving a Range Rover, clipped a truck pulling a trailer. Investigators say the SUV swerved and rolled onto its side. Woods climbed out through a window. No injuries were reported.
You know, I got to say this, and we'll get into Tiger Woods in just a minute, but House Speaker Johnson is a moron, and he thinks we're morons. We can see that he's not doing this because Trump is watching. That's the only reason he's not accepting this proposal, because the proposal that was actually presented by, it was led by a Republican. But because Trump doesn't want it, that's why he's not doing it. But see, he doesn't have the balls to come out and tell the American people, hey, my head is so far up Trump's ass that unfortunately I can't do what's in the best interest of the people. He can't say that because that's what he's doing if he wanted to tell the truth. And it's just, I'm not going to just continue to go off, but it's just sad. It's really a sad day. I'll throw to you, Talib, and then I got a couple other things to ask you about. Go ahead, man.
Mike Johnson is feckless. And it shows in everything that he does. We already know that, he was already skating on thin ice if he didn't do what, because I know Marjorie Taylor Greene had called for him to step down at one point. Look, the guy it's obvious that this guy is a yes man. So why are we taking anything that he says seriously? I know what his position is. I know why he's doing what he's doing. Literally, his entire body is in Trump's hiney. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
Yeah.
he's all the
I
way
mean,
in there.
maybe
It's not a brown nose kind of thing. You know what I mean? You can tell that he's literally
you just hear an
living in
echo.
Trump's behind.
It's just the echo coming out.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really.
It's sad.
Oh my God.
It's sad.
So
And,
yeah, just be, and they just expect us to go along and
Right.
just like nothing's going on. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
Exactly. They know that most people are not going to ask questions. The constituents, the MAGA constituents who elected these people know that unfortunately, their constituents, 69% of them are illiterate, 40% of them only get their news from Fox. So, I mean, what choice do you have? They're being sold the propaganda and they're loving it.
Yeah, it's really sad. I'm gonna try to bring Tanya B in. I just want to apologize to you guys this week. Tanya B's on the road. We try to do it the best for you and deliver you the best. But some of those weeks, man, it's just like internet is fighting against you. So hopefully we'll get her in here. But the other thing is, man, I'm not gonna go too deep into the war. You weren't here when we really started. At the beginning of the war, second week of the war.
Right.
Well, I guess the advance of the war last week.
Right.
I just want to ask you a quick question on this because Mike pretty much covered it in the news. I don't want it to dominate our discussion today because we got other stuff to talk about. Where do you think we are in this right now? Where do you think we are?
I think we are in a losing situation. There are more casualties that American troops have taken than have been reported. If you watch Al Jazeera, if you watch BBC, any of these, international news sources, they are reporting that the American casualties are far greater than what the United States media outlets are reporting. We're going up against an enemy, so-called enemy, that has been prepared for this. They've been preparing, if not for just the last year since the first bombing happened, they've been preparing for this for many, many years because they know that they know how America's aggression is. So, they are prepared to go the distance. They are not backing down. Yeah. And and when you run up against somebody like that, if this was just, if this was, we're just in the streets of Atlanta, and I'm trying to fight somebody who knows that they have nothing to lose, I'm going to get a whole different kind of scrap out of that person. You know what I mean? And that's what we're seeing in Iran. Iran is like, yo, man, fuck the la-la. You know what I mean? Like, yo, if you really want to bring it, then bring it. And let's see what we get. But this whole, we're going to talk and then we're not going to talk and you're going to try and give me Jared Kushner to negotiate and then, and who is he? He's not even part of the cabinet. So why would you think that I would? And when I'm talking to Jared the first time, y'all just go and bomb me. So no, I'm not dealing with none of y'all. You know what I mean? Who wouldn't have the same kind of attitude towards the United States if the United States kept pulling this? This is the second time that we were supposed to be in talks with them, and we wound up bombing them at the behest of Israel. So no, I'm just tired of the whole thing. I mean, look. I'm just like I said, I'm just sick of it.
It's hard to say when it's all said and done because we don't even know when it's going to be all said and done, considering what's happening. But I think and this is just me, it's not anything I've heard. When it's all said and done, we will be looked at as the bad guy, in my opinion, when it comes down to it. I think, and I don't mean that internally because, they're going to continue to gaslight us about our position on this war. But the outside, internationally, they're gonna come after America or the people involved in this for war crimes. They're gonna come after the Trump administration for a lot of misdeeds. They're gonna go after Israel for misdeeds after this. And I think I'm not sure how long it's gonna last. I'm not sure how it's gonna end, but America will not be looked upon favorably after this war. And it's because of the players. Yeah. It's because of the players involved.
Exactly.
You know, I think it may be the first time in history that we're not looked upon favorably. As we've always been the police. Now we're the bully. And I mean, look, I get it. Iran's been doing this. You can go back to 1979. You can go back to all that. But it's a war we didn't have to start.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And that but when I say war crimes, I think the girls' school is going to be a big issue after this is all said and done. And I think that's why, in my opinion, that's why the Allies don't want to get involved in it, because they don't want to get pulled into it. They know, They know that the international, when it comes down, there are going to be accusations of war crimes, based on involving this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna leave that alone. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say,
you go to leave.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be looked at in the future. We will definitely be looked at as on the wrong side of history on this one. I mean, look, Talib, I get it, and no, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I get it. I mean, when you have this discussion with conservatives or MAGA or anybody who's pro-Trump, immediately they go to, well, Iran's the bad guy, blah, 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 blah. I get that. We know that. You don't have to educate me on all the things that Iran has done, but you're still the leader. You're supposed to be the leader of the free world. And you have to act accordingly, and you have to approach things accordingly. You should have brought the allies in on what this was all about and why you were doing it. Right. Not just one, but you have to bring NATO into this before you take a stand and take action, instead of asking for it after. I mean, Trump has that whole salesperson mentality. Sorry, salespeople, but you do shit and then ask forgiveness later. Every salesperson, I've been a salesperson. So every salesperson always does that shit. And Trump just proves to be I'm not a good one. A salesperson is like, do it and then ask forgiveness later. That's the way he performs.
Let me say this too,
because he's using. Yeah. Go ahead.
I remember when the hostages, when Iran had taken the hostages back in the 70s, 79. I can remember, bumper stickers of Mickey Mouse raising a middle finger saying with the caption, "Hey, Iran." You know what I mean? So I remember why Iran was looked upon as an enemy at that point. We know that these power-hungry people are constantly looking at that as a claw in their side, or something stuck in their craw, you know what I mean? Because we weren't able to get the justice that we wanted back then. So they're going to hold a 47-year grudge. And so, and that's all, you can see that from the way that all the war hawks are coming out now. Your Leslie, what's my man in South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, and your Marco Rubio. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another story. Yeah.
But really, what's going to happen is that within the next 10, within the 10 years following the Trump administration, probably at maybe 5, we're going to see Pete Hegseth and Mike Johnson and all these people now facing charges, and Trump is not going to have any repercussions held upon him. Just like with Reagan's cabinet, everybody started going down. Reagan, untouchable. But the people around him are going, Pam Bondi, all these people, they are going to pay the price. It is just that simple.
Yeah. It's been that way. I mean, you look at Trump first term. You go back to, you mentioned Reagan, Iran-Contra. Yeah. Exactly. I absolutely agree. Hey, Tanya B, I'm going to bring you in real quick. I know you're having some technical stuff going on.
You know what?
What do y'all think about, and I'll start with you, Tanya B, the whole Mueller
I just think it was the height of
and
stupidity,
what do you
not
think?
ignorance,
just
but
dive into it.
stupidity to even say that. And then you have to remember you're hearing this from somebody that has no moral compass whatsoever. Can't spell sympathy, has no empathy. And the thing about it is, he said it's good that Mueller is dead, but Mueller really could have pushed the buttons to get rid of his behind a while ago. It's interesting how he goes from praising somebody at 5 o'clock, then at 5:15, they're the worst person on earth ever. Yeah. And now I wish Mueller had pushed to just prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law, because now we're still stuck with this trash can.
Hey, we got her for a minute. There you go. We got her for a minute.
She ended it on a high note, though. It cut off at the right time. That was the mic drop.
There we go. The mic drop. There you go. Talib, what are your thoughts, man? Mueller.
I think it's disgusting. Look, what I'm listen, even I'm not a fan of Mueller. So, but I don't wish the man dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it takes a special type of evil to really celebrate in someone's death. Look, I know that he wasn't your favorite person. And, all he really had to say was rest in peace. Keep it easy, keep it simple. There is no level of decorum too low for this president. And all these people, they want to talk about, oh yeah, well, we're supposed to, you're supposed to keep it light and we want to be politically correct. At every instance, at every turn, this man has shown that he does not want to give any kind of grace. He doesn't want to do what people are expecting a president to do. He is the most unpresidential president we've ever had. And he will go down in history for it. Like I said, I'm not, you know how I feel. I write my own name in when it comes to presidential elections, because I don't feel that a lot of these guys have our best interest at heart. I know that they're there to serve the machine, but this guy takes the cake, and it's just, man, it infuriates me. It really, really just infuriates me.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I've been critical of Mueller over the years, okay? I've been critical of just about everybody. Everybody gets some from me. Yeah. I mean, even Obama, which I catch hell for that. I've been it's interesting because we were having a conversation last week on the show, and I mentioned if he had done something, we wouldn't be where we are today. Little did I know that within a few hours, as soon as I closed the show, his death is announced. But I would not go on and disgrace the man. He was a good man. Let it be known. He played by the book. The reason why he did not go after Trump is he plays by the book. He's a good, honest guy. And he proved that throughout his career. He didn't deserve that from Trump. And as a matter of fact, Trump should be praising him because he didn't go to jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how can you be hard on the guy and he didn't send you to jail like he did so many others in that report? You didn't get it. Everybody else got it.
Oh yeah.
But you didn't get it. So you need to say the famous line, hey, my mama told me if I don't have anything good to say,
don't say nothing. Right. Exactly.
See, I wasn't listening. Apparently he wasn't either. But I will say this. Mueller's he was a good man. And I don't like Comey at all. You know Comey.
Yeah.
I hate to say his name on the podcast.
Yeah.
But he said some really interesting things about not Comey, Weinstein.
Oh, okay.
who was on
Okay.
his part of his crew, and he was
Right.
talking about on MS Now how there were a couple of things that came out about him well, not personally, but his career that could have hurt the Mueller report, and Mueller hung in there with him. He walked in preparing to resign, and Mueller told him, I think he did it 3 times. On the 3rd time, Mueller told him, look, dude, you're not going anywhere until I finish.
Right.
And
Wow.
just turned around and left his office. So he was loyal to his people, man. Enough said. But, you know, I agree. I don't have to repeat what you said, Talib. You said it perfectly. It's like we talk about mental illness because he's going after Gavin Newsom for having dyslexia. How can you go at, how can Trump go after anybody about mental illness? That's my question. You know, how can this dude go at, especially dyslexia? What, 1 in 5 people are dyslexic? I mean, it's not like a narcissist or a psychopath. No, it's not on that. It's not even close to that kind of level that this guy who's attacking somebody for having dyslexia, when you make a comment about the dead the way you did, and you're the leader of the free world.
Well, don't
I'll leave it
forget.
at that. One more thing I do
Don't
want to
forget
talk
the
about.
Trump. Don't forget Trump's thing. You know this when he's mocking the
Oh yes, yes, the handicap.
disabled. Right? Come on, man. This guy.
He has done so much. I mean, not to mention grab him. You know, it's like the list. There is. Let me tell you, on Wikipedia there is a section. There you can go to Wikipedia. Things Trump has done. Things Trump has done. I think there's like his name, his career. There's an entire like dedicated Wikipedia to all the crazy shit he's done. So, you know, consider the source.
Man. Right.
I'm gonna wait for verses. We're gonna talk about verses because Tanya B's. I don't think she's gonna be able to make it back. Drewski and Erica Kirk, I thought was hilarious. Now, some of the stuff Drewski has done has been corny. All right, I'll say this, but I will say the mega church pastors and this the Erica Kirk thing are just damn so spot on. It is how conservative women are acting with Trump in office. They are, for the first time. It's like when you've been the outcast and all of a sudden you're the cool kids and you don't know how to act. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like when you've never been a cool kid, now all of a sudden you're the cool people. You think you're the cool kid. I mean, am I wrong by saying that?
No, but see, here's the thing. That I call it. It's almost like the police officer who was bullied as a kid, and then becomes a police officer and becomes extra dickish, you know, because he was bullied.
Everybody's
as a kid.
gonna get some now.
Exactly, and that's what this feels like with the way that these people are acting. So when Drewski comes in, Drewski, I've never really found him funny. He's that kind of guy he's always been obnoxious, he's that loud, but I don't mind his hustle because he's found a niche and he caters to the people in his niche. So I'm never mad at that. Plus, I love to see brothers getting money for doing something legit. You know what I mean? And for using whatever God has given them, to make that money. So cool, whatever. The Erica Kirk skit, I didn't find to be humorous all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? He had a couple of funny parts.
It was accurate.
But exactly. The thing is that we see these people every day. There are hundreds and thousands of Karens who are acting just like Drewski did in that video. So and then so is it whiteface? Is there such a thing as whiteface? That's the real question, because that's what everybody is.
The Wayans started it.
Man, It wasn't the Wayans. Eddie Murphy started it. I'm going to buy this newspaper.
Did he do it?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Don't you remember
wow.
when he
Yeah. The skit. Yeah, so SNL,
like, yo,
when
there's
he
going
went
to
out
be
as
a
the
whole
white
lot
guy.
of, right. So, and at the end of the skit, where Eddie Murphy is like, yeah, next time you meet that cool chick or that really cool cat, you know, you might just be surprised to find that it's us underneath. And, you know, that, see, you know, here's the thing. If somebody, we didn't get mad, or at least I didn't. I never got mad at Robert Downey Jr. for the Tropic Thunder movie.
For Tropical Thunder? Let me say this. Oh, go
You know
ahead,
what I
go
mean?
ahead.
Yeah,
Because I
so-
got something to say.
Yeah, please, jump
it's
in,
funny
jump
you mentioned
in.
it because it was on this week. It was on this Lincoln Osiris. Oh, shit. That's
Come on, man.
And I'll
Come
tell
on.
you why. Huh? Let me say this, man.
Yeah.
Because of the way he did it. I mean, Robert, he should have gotten a fucking Oscar, a Golden Globe, because it's funny because he didn't do it in a demeaning way. It's like when the guy said the N-word and he slapped him and he held him, but then he started saying the Jeffersons thing. It was just, I mean, I watch it to this day, and it's just because they explain that whatever character he does, he becomes that character. And so he went through the whole medical skin pigment implantation. I mean, that movie will forever. Now, you're right.
But this is right. And that's my point, Tommy, is that wasn't blackface. That was an actor playing a guy who's playing a dude disguised as another dude. And that's the way I felt.
That's quotable ass movie.
Right. Yo, man, ever. Come on. But this is what I'm saying. Drewski doing Erica Kirk is not whiteface. It wasn't I'm some random white woman and I'm showing that I'm giving you all these stereotypes about white women. This was something specific. It was about he was imitating someone specifically. That is different than putting on tar and making your lips this big around red and singing Mammy. There is a big fucking difference. And if you don't know and if you don't know what the difference is, then just shut your ass up. You know what I mean? Because right now you're commenting on stuff that you're totally wrong on. And, you know, again, I know this is the days of social media. Everybody's opinion is out there. But not everybody's opinion deserves to be out there. Not everybody's opinion deserves to be heard. Period. So as far as I'm concerned, Drewski, keep it coming.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, man, let's take a break because for 400 years, that word has held us down, bro.
What do you mean, you people?
Man, I could just
what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Oh, my God. Whew, boy. Hey, man, let's go to break and we'll come back. Here we go. Hey, man, we're back. Hey, you know, Tanya B's not going to be able to make it back, but let's go ahead.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tanya B.
Hey, man, the biggest story breaking this morning is the arrest of golf legend Tiger Woods. On Friday afternoon, Tiger was involved in a high-speed rollover crash in Jupiter Island, Florida. Authorities say his Land Rover clipped a trailer while he was attempting to pass another vehicle, causing his car to flip onto its side. While thankfully no one was injured, the Martin County Sheriff's Office arrested Tiger on suspicion of DUI. The T is he blew his 000 on the breathalyzer, but officers say he appeared lethargic and showed significant signs of impairment. Tiger refused a urine test and was booked into jail for DUI, property damage, and refusal to submit to a test. He was released on bail late Friday night after a mandatory 8-hour hold. Talib, what do you think, man?
I think he's back on the Roxy's.
Oh, what's that?
I mean, we've always known Tiger's had, issues with his with pain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're
Yes.
crashing your car and you but you blow a 000 to show that there's no alcohol in your
Yeah.
system. I mean, but you refuse a urine analysis. I mean, what else are we supposed to? Again, it's not my business, but what are we supposed to think? You know what I mean? Tiger has had has had big time, issues where he's been talking about how much pain he was in, the fact that he was. I think that even when he had when somewhere around the divorce, he was talking about how he was taking pain pills or something like that. So,
Right.
Tiger, get help, bro. Get help, man. That's all. Get help. Why are you still driving?
I really think.
Why
Did he ever
you
go
gotta?
to rehab? Did he ever go to rehab?
I want to say it sounds familiar, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, man.
Mhm.
Look, man. I just don't understand why people with money. How can you've got enough money to get a cab? You can't be that stubborn.
Oh,
You can't be that to not take the help when that's what Uber is for. You know what I mean? Like, why
yeah.
are you trying to
No,
drive
that's what
inebriated?
your money is for. Buying. You should have a driver
Should have
living
it.
in a house on your property.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
like a
Yes.
butler. You should have a driver.
Right.
So
Believe
I don't
me.
get it. When I saw this, the first thing I said to leave was, "Why is he still driving?"
Right. Exactly. Because this isn't his first accident, is it? Or was it just that his wife messed up the
Oh
car?
no, dude. No, the accident that almost ended his career. He was
Yes.
driving early in the
Right.
morning. That's the one where he had the broken legs, limbs,
Right.
back.
Right.
So this after that, everybody said, "Dude, stop driving,
Right.
stop," because if you recall, even when he was having issues with his wife, he had a couple of issues like this, similar to it, but I think the police may have gotten to him before he crashed.
Yeah.
So, Tilly, I mean, they need to just take his license, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, the PGA, because it's funny. It's not funny. I just say funny. It's
Right.
ironic
Right.
that this week I'm watching him do the indoor golf. The league that he founded
Yeah.
in Florida, and I'm watching it, and all they could talk about was he was in it. I mean, he was actually his first
Competing in
time
it,
people
yeah.
had seen him since 24.
Mm-hmm.
So they were asking him, "Hey, are you going to be in the Masters?" That was the big talk. The first day he had actually been in a competitive situation was this week, like earlier in the week.
Wow.
I mean, it was a big deal. It was all on ESPN, and they were,
Right.
and then the thing that was the talk of golf was him returning to the Masters. It ain't happening now.
No.
I just don't think I don't think he should. And even though I don't think he was hurt in this accident, he needs help. He needs help.
Yeah.
I mean, he really
Definitely.
does. I mean, this is a signal that he's addicted. He's
Yeah.
addicted. Yeah. I'll give you the last word on it, man, before we go into verses. Go ahead.
Just really, we just need to figure out when to say when. You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
to say when. We talk about it with performers that are performing too long. Like Cameo from the from the Tom
Larry
Joyner
Blackmon.
cruise last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have a real problem knowing when to say when. That's enough.
Yeah.
So please, only thing I want for that man is for him to receive the kind of help he is, because I love the inspiration that he was.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for me, the thing that kind of ticks me off about him is, and you know, I know why the current president likes him, loves him so much, is because he plays golf. He loves golf. You know, I'm not sure what kind of circles he rolls in. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do try to separate that from uh, what he meant to us when he first broke the scene.
Right.
I remember those days.
Yes.
But it's kind of like, and it's funny we were talking about Tropic Thunder, because look at how Robert Downey cleared that hurdle. Because I thought it was over for him. Candidly, this dude probably was like what JF or what Kennedy was saying, snorting cocaine off the toilet seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, this dude was everywhere doing that. You know, so you know he does. I agree with you 100%. He needs help,
Yeah.
man. He needs help beyond getting his body back in shape for golf.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and I was thinking about this, man, and I don't mean this in a degrading way. Tiger's like, unfortunately, his dad presented him like this little monkey. You know what I mean? Like the little trickster. Even when he was 5 years old, he's on the Mike
Yeah.
Douglas show, you know, doing putts. He's always been the little talented prodigy, prize possession, kind of floating around. But nobody really cared about what was going on with him inside.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
people, and if you hear people talk about the stuff he may be going through right now, it's not to fix him personally. It's to fix him so he can get back out there and play. People don't talk
Exactly.
about, hey, this dude needs help because he got kids. He got a life to live. He needs
Right.
to live the rest of his life in peace. They're not talking
Yeah.
about it like that. The first thing they're going to say is, damn, we really wish he would get back on the golf course. I'm like, damn, don't y'all see this dude he got a sickness. Something's
Yeah.
wrong.
Right.
It's beyond that. So I'll leave
Exactly.
it at that. Hey, man, speaking of sickness, let's talk about verses for a minute. Uh, I mean, I'm joking, but I watch verses, man. And the thing about verses, the funniest thing about verses was the turtleneck song that Tank came up. I wish I could play it, but I know Apple would start some shit if I played it
Right.
on this podcast.
Exactly.
And they try to
Exactly.
hit me for copyright because now they probably own the song and they're going to release the song. But Tank creating that turtleneck song about Tyrese was hilarious.
That's
Outside
classic.
of that, oh, it's classic. Outside of that, man, it's interesting, man, because I didn't see the need for Ebro to be like, I know Ebro is a big part of their Apple Music and he's black, I guess. And, you know, and he was their guy to present this, but these are R&B acts, and I expected somebody more R&B driven who understood R&B and had a grip on R&B history to be more involved in it. Then when the host came out, I watched most of just about the whole thing.
Right.
And then
Right.
the two hosts were who?
Right.
Silly. It just the whole vibe. This was supposed to be like a ladies' night, you know. And we grew up on ladies' night at the club or ladies' night,
Yeah.
like the way Teddy Pendergrass used to put it down back in the day. It was more intimate. It was more, you know. This was just foolishness, man. And I do applaud Tank for trying to keep it professional. And I like Tyrese as an actor, but as a singer, he's over. I mean, quite frankly, you could tell he wasn't prepared. He came in really just to start shit. You know, he was going to be the antagonist. He was just going to, you know, fuck with Tank.
Champion. I won. I
and
won the
ruin it.
verses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, he was the foil, you know.
Yeah.
But you said something, and I want you to say it to the people. The thing that stood
Oh.
out for you the most.
Oh, yeah. The thing that really stood out for me the most about this particular verses is that I realized that I don't know their music. You know,
Yes,
you know,
Mm,
whether, you know, okay, so I'm a DJ first. So when I usually, you
mhm.
know, slow songs for me are usually a secondary thought, because I'm looking for songs that are
It's the
going to
break.
move ass on the dance floor. You know what I mean? And that's where I get my thing. So, for a slow song to really shine, it has to be something special, or it has to be just played to death on the radio. And really the only songs that I know from Tyrese and Tank were the ones that were played to death on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never,
Yeah.
I like them, but I've never been enough of a fan where I'm just going to put their album in and ride the album. And last night, I mean, the fact that I only knew like 2 or 3 songs from Tyrese's actual catalog, but I knew everything that he brought somebody else out on, like the Chingy
Yeah. The
song, like the
collabs.
song
Yeah.
he opened up with the
Yeah.
Brat. I realize now that Tyrese's voice has been on a lot of things that I just didn't realize was him. But yeah, man, I was like, this is not. I watched the verses so that I would know about, so that I could have an opinion of it. I didn't really watch the verses because it was my jam.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the biggest thing that Tank did was bring out other artists. I mean, when he bought out Jay Valentine, he bought out what's his name, the guy on trial for rape. What's his name? Big.
Yeah.
And I'll get to him, but definitely when Jamie Foxx came out, dive in. What's the song? Oh man, Trey Songz.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see Trey Songz.
Right.
It was interesting that the guys he bought out, Latoya Luckett, they were more recognizable than Tank.
Yeah.
The fact that he wrote their songs or he was on their songs, he sang backup on the songs.
Right.
So yeah, I think Versus is going to have to become just a concert for R&B or hip hop,
Right.
and less of a competition. Because I don't think you can do this competitive thing because of the pandemic. It was necessary, but I think they're going to have to pull away from the verses. We've already done, I think, the best ones. And what's left, we were talking about this, the fact that our generation has touched an incredible amount of talent. We've been exposed to an incredible amount of talent. A lot of these kids who were born in the 90s and the 2000s, they've been exposed to trash.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting the leftovers because R&B shifted in priority.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
So I don't think the newer generation has seen the best of the best.
No.
I was telling somebody, if you haven't, I feel for it. They were like, well, man, you must be old. I said, nah, I'm blessed because I had the opportunity to see Earth, Wind, and Fire. I had the opportunity to see Stevie Wonder in his prime.
Right.
I saw James Brown on the decline, but I still saw him when he was doing the big payback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I still get that. I don't all the early stuff, the black and white stuff. No, but the big payback is my jam because I was alive. I was old enough to see it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Versus needs to just go to concert format, and because I think it's done. The turtleneck thing was probably the most interesting thing. The collabs. The people they bought out. But outside of that, it was just kind of a mockery, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think that, if we really look at how Versus started, it wasn't so much like about a competition, like who's better. It was really more about, because when Versus started, they were doing the producers. So you had DJ Premier versus Raekwon. I mean, not Raekwon, the RZA.
Yeah.
So it's really about, oh man, you did that one too? Oh man, you know what I mean? Like, yo, that was your song? So it's like, I mean, but hip hop is a competitive sport. And hip hop is always about a battle. So that's why Versus kind of took on this, competitive thing, because it's like, yo, who's got more hits? Who can rock the crowd better? Whose catalog is deeper, or or whose catalog made you move more, So in that sense, Versus is dynamite. But I think that I think that it's in its growth, it got away from its original concept. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we're
agreed.
we're
Agreed.
people who know each other, and we want to have a time where we can showcase all of this stuff that we've done so that people can actually see, how deep our catalogs are. The more we move towards, the showmanship of it and all that, I think it's really gotten away from, everything that it could have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially
so
like,
true. So true.
with what was the one that had the big fight? The 3-6 versus Bone Thugs. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. Yep. I
So
agree. I agree.
so it's
Hey,
like,
hey, let's
just
do this,
revamp it.
man. Well, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, like I'm saying, it's
Yeah,
just time for a
yeah.
revamp. That's all.
I agree. I agree. One more thing, and there are a couple of more things I'll just kind of breeze through, but one more thing I do want to talk about. There's a movie coming out with Halle Bailey and Reggie Jean Page. Is that his name? The guy who was in Bridgerton the first year, the black
Oh
guy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's called You, Me, and Tuscany, and it stars two black leads. The filmmaker Nina Lee went viral this week. And she came out, I guess a lot of people are calling it a sobering reality check. She shared that the box office success of her film, this film that's about to drop, could really determine the fate of other black-led romance films, including her own project. It's a heavy weight to put on one movie, but it sparks that kind of conversation. And then in my mind, and a lot of people are saying, why does one film have to carry the future of the entire genre for blacks? I'm waiting, but it was disappointing to me to hear that come from a director, for her and for the studio. Because I don't think she would have said it if somebody in that studio didn't say that to her. Because here's the thing: if you're a director, you should know your film and stand on your film, stand on your work.
Yeah.
Period. If you come out with something, you have the opportunity to do it. Stand on it. Because my thing is, if you don't have the confidence in it, then let another black director do it who's good enough to do it. Malcolm D. Lee has proven to be a great rom-com director. He did the the Best Man series.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he's the director of The Best Man. The guy who did Love Jones, who really, after he did Love Jones, he just disappeared from Hollywood. He forgot about it. But there are better people who can do it, who have proven they can do it. So if you don't feel confident enough to do it, just don't do it. You know what I mean? If somebody's telling you this, but it's also for me to leave, because we just went through this with the whole Sinners thing. You know, when King walked up we had Selma week, the Selma Montgomery arrival anniversary was this week, voting rights and all that. And when they made it to Montgomery, King said, "How long?" And the group, the whole "how long, not long."
Right.
Okay. So how long is it going to take us to get over this and just allow films to stand on their own merit? Because there are a whole lot of white films not making money released. I mean, The Bride, y'all saw the previews, probably the promos for that movie that was supposed to be the modern day Bride from Frankenstein. That movie was trash.
Yeah.
There are multiple movies that come out every week that are made by white directors, that are white focused, white directed. And I say white, I mean general audience, okay?
Right.
And they flop.
Yes.
Most black movies make money. First of all, because they're not paying the cast a ton of money. The budget's not that big, so we can make a return.
Yeah.
I think Sinners was a $90 million budget, and it's well over $300 million. Well over.
Right. Right.
It got its return. Most films, Tyler Perry, if he releases something in the theaters, he's gonna get his money back.
Yeah.
But your thoughts, man? I've been talking. It pisses me off because we're still in 1970. It's like we still talking like we coming out of black exploitation.
Well,
black exploitations. Hey, as quiet as it's kept, black exploitation saved the movie business.
Exactly. And made
You know
money.
that, right?
Yes. And
It
made money.
saved the movie business. It drove people to the theaters, a whole lot of black people and the general audience. That's what black exploitation, even though it's looked down upon, it saved black movies saved the movie business. Movie business was tanking.
Well,
So go ahead.
let's I mean, but this is something that we can compare to all forms of life. You know, when people are hurting the most, you do something for the Negroes. Look at Tubi.
Mm, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, Tubi
yeah,
is
yeah.
a
You're absolutely right.
but here's the thing: when we have Tubi with all of these movies, do we really need to? Is there a real need to position a movie like this one, the Tuscany movie? Do we really have to position it like we do because of all the movies, the little generic, $10 shot with the eight Model 8 iPhone, you know, direct to
Yeah,
consumers through a
yeah,
system like that, or is it that we're showing that there is a real need for something like that because of all of these independent filmmakers who can't break through the Hollywood ceiling, and have to now
yeah,
resort
yeah,
to things like a Tubi. It's
yeah,
why can't these movies just stand on their own merit? I don't know. But a lot. But
yeah,
I wish that we could get to that point where we don't have to advertise that this is a black movie with black lead and this is a first and this. You know what I mean? In order to just get
yeah,
people behind it, because
yeah.
it's
Well,
it seems
yeah,
crazy at
yeah,
this point.
yeah. I mean, and they're specifically, she's pointing out black rom coms because they haven't been that many black rom coms that come out on a regular basis. Either
Right.
you know the deal. It's either going to
Yeah.
be power, or it's got to be something. How do you say
Yeah.
it? On the edge.
Right.
I do think that there is a need and there is a market for it, but you
Yes.
got to be good. You got to do it
Right.
right, and you got
Right.
to have good direction. Period.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it turns out. I do believe there is a need, but if you don't have the chops to do it, fine. I mean, there's so many black directors that aren't getting shots right now, man, that are sitting on the sideline where a lot of these other directors are coming out with these trash films. Look at what we just went through with the Oscars.
Right.
Some of these best picture nominations nobody even saw. Okay,
Right.
real quick, and I'm just going to kind of breeze through this, man. Over at CBS, they're doing some cleaning, man. Morris Chestnut's Watson has been canceled. If you heard about the Tim Meadows, who was the ladies' man back in the day, his show DMV is gone. I do think a lot of that has to do with the new regime. Unfortunately, we've seen more black actors and black shows. It's going to be interesting how they treat Beyond the Gates, the black soap, because it is partnered with the NAACP. It's going to be interesting to see when this takeover is done, how everything actually shakes out. But we'll see.
Yeah.
The other quick thing, if most of us watch Netflix, I just think Netflix is too high. The new tier they've added, they've gone up. If you do the ad supported, it's gone from $7.99 to $8.99. It's like the second increase in about a month, within a year.
Yeah.
Standard with no ads has gone from $17.99 to $19.99. Premium has gone from $24.99 to $26.99. I just think it's we're paying. I mean, shit. Sometimes I just turn on Pluto. Tubi, and for you to mention Tubi, that's funny because look, I love Pluto, and it's
Hmm.
free. But
Yeah.
Tubi, it's funny you should mention this because it's another podcast to do. But it's interesting, and you were right on when you say this. A lot of these companies build on black.
Yes.
Fox built on black.
Yes.
When they
Totally.
came out, they built on black. They built on Martin. They built on Living Single. They built on New York Undercover. Absolutely. UPN, WB, CW, all were built on black because they know the black audience is starving. They're consumer driven. They go there,
Right.
and then when they're done with them, boom, they start canceling the shows. They get the audience in certain day parts where they want them, and then they start shifting away.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They build on black. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. We'll wrap it, and I'll go to you, Talib, man. You got anything to wrap this? Let's wrap it up the right way.
It's time to wrap it up. This is the G Podcast.
Go ahead, Talib.
Yeah, I got a couple of shouts. Just talking back about the film stuff. I want to shout out to all the brothers and sisters that are now getting involved in these micro dramas. These little, 60-second to, 4 or 5 minute clips, that are comprising the micro drama world. I'm seeing a lot more activity. I think that there is actually the first micro drama being led by an all black cast with black writers and black director. So, as opposed to the Asians who've been dominating the market. So I'm very glad to see that. I would prefer to see that rather than I'd rather see people spending their money on making a micro drama than trying to dump a whole bunch of money into a movie that couldn't even get played on Tubi. So definitely shouts to that. Also want to say congratulations to Atlanta-based punk rock band Paradox for hitting #1 on the alternative rock charts, which is the first, and again, here we go with another first time a black rock band has ever hit #1 on the Billboard chart. Even though it's in the alternative, even though it's in the alternative category, just the fact that, we've had black bands like Bad Brains and Living Color and Follow for Now and, Mother's Finest, all the, for all this time and have never been recognized before for their achievements. Now we got to, and these are young boys. These are young boys coming out of Atlanta. You know what I mean? Man, that is spectacular especially because I love punk rock. You know what I mean? I've always been a fan, I remember back in the, the early 80s when, New Yorkers, for hip hop wise, we had to go to the punk rock clubs in order to see live hip hop. You know what I mean? So
you went to CBGB?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. SOBs, all, I was always in the village, man. You know what I mean? So again, it's just, I'm just glad to see it. Keep it coming, fellas. Don't let anybody tell you what you cannot do. You know what I mean? Because we show them every time when they say that we can't, we show them that we can.
Good stuff. So, man, let me ask you, I thought Living Color, I thought Cult of Personality hit #1, but I know that Billboard Hot 100 was tough, was fierce for them back in the day. Living Color. Yeah, you remember that?
I don't remember whether it hit. I think it hit top 10, but I don't think it hit #1.
Top 10.
Because that was when I was at Georgia State. So we're playing all of these groups. Fishbone. I didn't even mention Fishbone, but these guys. These guys have been doing their thing on the scene forever. And the punk rock scene wouldn't be anything without them and the folks that brought ska. You know what I mean? You got all the Jamaican cats with the ska music. So I'm just glad to see that we haven't given up. We are still expanding, and I'm looking forward to see what comes next.
Good stuff. And I'm gonna mention the Bus Boys. You remember the Bus Boys?
I love the Bus Boys, man. What was that? That was
I want to join the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
And play in a rock and roll band.
That was
they hooked up with Eddie Murphy. They were in The Boys Are Back in Town.
The Boys, right.
I forgot. Was that 48 Hours?
48 hours. Yes. I couldn't remember if it was that one.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. I gotta say, shout out to all the folks, man. Even though I know you won't see a whole lot of black folks out there today, but the No Kings. I support you. I think it's the 3,300 different I guess I want to say programs, but protests, 3,300 different ones across the country. Right. I think speaks volume to what we're dealing with in this country. And I say one thing, man. I always say power to the people. and I don't say it just to be cutesy and, hip. It's true. It's true for me.
Yeah.
I was, y'all know I was brought up in the foster care system, and the home that eventually I stuck with. The cousins in that family were actually they were young, just getting out of high school. They had joined in Atlanta the Black Panther Party. So the Panther papers and all that stuff are always around the house, man. And that was just something I heard it all the time. The pump fist, power to the people. It was like,
yes.
And we need that, man. We do truly need to understand that the power is ours, and we, especially now, because something ain't right.
Right.
And where.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I ain't gotta come out and tell you, something ain't right. But y'all, we've gone a little bit longer than usual this week, but that's cool. Scan the QR code on our logo as you watch this on social media. Our links are there. You can go to castropolis.net, use the people poll. I would love your comments on anything we talked about this week. Again, I apologize. We've had some technical issues, but we'll get them fixed. We'll get everything cleared up. If you're on Spotify, go back. And if you're not on Spotify, but you listen to us on Spotify, make sure you are following This is the G Podcast. It's real important. Also, check us out, Velvet Frequency Radio. Listen live 365. On Saturdays, we just jam. It's just jam all day, man. 10 to 10, and then 10 p.m. until overnight. We just do the mix. So check us out every Saturday. Sundays at 4. Listen to the Bird Wire. Sundays at 6. We do a replay of our podcast. And then, it's just a groove all week. And with that, thank you again, Talib. Appreciate you coming in, man. And being a part of it every week.
I look forward to it
so much, man. It's greatly appreciated, man. I'm glad to hear that because it's my therapy, man. Even when it's not going on, I love coming on here chatting with y'all, man.
Indeed.
And with that, episode 304 is in the can. Y'all have a great week. Peace and power to the people. Have a good week.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.